Hello and welcome to this month's edition of the story behind the picture for the Staffs Moorlands calendar 2023, and I'm in Abbey Wood, which is just outside Leek, and was the scene in May of the most spectacular display of bluebells I've ever seen, I think. Excuse me while I step over this mud-filled ditch. It's a bit rough here today. So I'll take a little stroll through the wood and show you what it looks like now. And I'll intersperse it with pictures from the shoot last May. I don't know if you can tell from this, but it's March at the moment and it snowed a bit last night and it's very wet, very cold, very muddy. So a lot different to how it was when I took the photos for the calendar. But like I say, I'll intersperse it with pictures of the bluebells. It'll make it a bit more shocking, I think. It looks so drab and dreary at the moment, and it was just spectacular last May. And hopefully by the time you see this video, it'll be like that again. It's hard to think actually that such a drab spot could be so spectacular in just what, 5-6 weeks. Incredible. So enjoy the video. I'm sure I'll be back on here babbling away in a little bit, or at least on voiceover. It's a very quiet morning, and I'll leave you to the views. Not done this before, but I'm out photographing for 2023's May, and I thought I would just share this with you. It's been a bit of a walk to get here as the roads are closed because they're resurfacing, but I've got to say this is one of the best displays of bluebells I have ever seen. As you can see, hopefully in the video, hopefully going right round in a circle is not making anybody feel too ill as well. It's not doing wonders for me. And there we go, back to where I've just come from. Isn't that gorgeous? And just listen to the wind in the trees and the birds singing. For those of you wanting to know exactly where we are, just down there over those fields in the distance is the Abbey pub, and you walk across the fields and come through a wooden gate, which I'll film a little bit later because it's absolutely beautiful, and then there's a few paths that head off into the wood, and you want to ignore all of those and come up onto this track. You can see this great big track, can't miss it. And the track carries on along here, and you may well have seen this earlier in one of the video shots, but I'll film it again because there's a lot of little false trails off into the wood and they just lead you into nowhere but muddy ground. But this is the one you need, and it runs on for half a mile into the wood. There's a couple of little offshoots, it's quite pretty. Most of the times here, when the bluebell's out, it's absolutely spectacular, as you've seen. So that's the route you'll want. Now on the map, it calls this Abbey Wood, but when I was doing the research for the calendar, I was going to call it Hillswood because that's what I'd always referred to it as. And when I spoke to my mum this morning and said I was going to Abbey Wood to film the video for the calendar, she immediately said, "Don't you mean Hillswood?" So I don't know why it's got two names. Abbey Wood is what it says on the map, so always go off Ordnance Survey maps if possible. I've not seen it written down that it's called Hillswood. I'm sure someone in the comments might be able to tell me why it's called Hillswood. I know why it would be called Abbey Wood, because Judicus Abbey is just over there somewhere. As they would say in the television, it's now back to the studio for a little bit of voiceover. This is the picture as it appears in the calendar, and I thought I would share with you some of the other pictures I took on the same day, so I hope you like these. It was a difficult choice which one to choose for the calendar, so I'm glad this gives me the opportunity to show off a few more of the shots taken on what was a spectacular day's photography. The video itself is nearly a year in the making. You will have seen the footage I filmed during the time I was taking the shoot. It was the first time I'd actually used my phone camera to film what I was actually shooting for the calendar, which has now become commonplace for me as these videos are getting a life of their own, really. The original idea for the videos was just to give people a brief idea of what went on behind the scenes, and also where the pictures were taken, as a few people have always commenting, "Oh, where is this particular shot and how do I get there?" So I hope that these are a bit more informative. They're fun to do, they're a lot of hard work. Like I say, this video was a year in the making. The first shots taken in May last year, then some taken in early March this year, and the final editing and this voiceover has been recorded at the end of March. So quite a long period of time to work on one little project that will probably only be seen by half a dozen people, maybe more. Just comment in the comments if you have seen it. It would be nice to know if I'm not wasting my time. I'll hand back to past self now as I head out of the wood, and hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video. This is the entrance to the wood. I'm coming at it from the wood side, but it's absolutely lovely. Just a standard fence and gate, and someone's hammered some bits of wood to it, but I really like it. It shows a bit of individuality when you see so many gates and styles and fences, to see one that stands out a little bit. And I'll go through and I'll show you from the other side. It might be better lit. That gives away the time of year anyway. There you go. And I'd not noticed before, but a dedication and a bit of carving. Interesting. Well, I don't know Tony, or new Tony by the looks of this. But memorials go, that's a very fitting one. Right, back across the fields and head to home. Now when I crossed these fields in May, there was cows in there, so if you aren't happy with cows, just be aware that there could be cows in this field. They didn't trouble me on the day I did it, but I know they can be buggers at times. Just as I was about to put the camera away and leave the wood, this happened. It's a collection of seagulls with a single buzzard, and they were circling around for quite a while. I thought it was interesting and thought I'd include it on the video. Bye bye.